Hey there guys, and welcome to another episode of Strong Anywhere Fitness. Today we are working push-up progression. Now I know a lot of people find push-ups quite difficult in the early stages of training. However, today we're going to show you from beginner all the way to some slightly more intermediate levels of push-ups and the progression of how to be able to start push-ups. So typically a lot of people, when they start with push-ups, it's their shoulders that can't really handle the weight, or maybe their upper body strength isn't quite there. So I'm going to show you a few beginning steps to get you into doing push-ups. And the first of which is doing push-ups on your knees. That takes a lot of the weights off of your upper body and it allows you to get familiar with it. Let me show you what I mean. Typically when you have a standard push-up, you'd be on your feet like so. However, this puts quite a lot of weight on your shoulders and your upper arms. And if you don't have the strength for that just yet, you can put your knees down, taking a lot of the weight off your knees. So if you just cross over your ankles like so, and assume the push-up position with your hands just underneath your shoulders, you can start to begin the progression of push-ups. So just going up and down like so, doing 15 of these. So push-ups on your knees are the beginning stage to doing most push-ups. The next stage on push-up progression is to a on your hands plank. So typically when you plank, you'd have your weight on your elbows, but to prepare your body to hold your weight during push-ups, we're going to do planks on our hands. So all that is just hands on the ground instead, and feet back and keeping your body straight. And this is essentially just a push-up position. You're just holding here like so. Anywhere between 30 seconds to a minute. And what this does, this builds up the strength in your shoulders and in your biceps to begin to hold your weight. And the next stage for doing push-up progression is exactly the same as the planks, except you're going to lean a little bit more forwards to put more weight and more pressure on your shoulders and your arms, and to go a bit more onto the tips of your toes. This will allow your shoulders to gain more strength in the motion, and it will prepare you for the going downwards motion of a push-up, like so. So this is the standard plank, and what you're going to be doing is just leaning more forwards, putting more weight on the shoulders, and being on the tips of your toes. Holding like so. Now doing combinations of those three over several days will build the strength up necessary to go on to the next step, which is the basic push-up. Combining all of the levels we've just done, so with the preparation of going down from your knees and from being on your feet and having your shoulders more forward, we should now be able to achieve the standard push-up, which is on your toes, leaning slightly forward, hands underneath your shoulders, and then going down, and then coming up. And there we go guys, those are the foundations of doing a push-up. And now, once you've become familiar with doing push-ups and you feel like you're a bit more adept, we're going to move on to a bit more intermediate to advanced push-ups. And they consist of the wide push-up, the diamond push-up, and using this guy right here. So before we go on to that, I'll show you guys the wide push-up. So You're very familiar at this point, if you want to attempt this, you should be familiar with the standard push-up, which is hands just underneath your shoulders. With the wide push-ups, it's very self-explanatory. You're just going to be having your hands just wider than shoulder width. Feet in the same position, trying not to stick to your pad because you're sweaty. And then down and up. You ready? Let's go. So the wider push-up does the outer parts of your chest and your upper back and shoulders. The next variation is the diamond push-up. This does more of the inner chest and your biceps and triceps, and is another more intermediate way of doing a push-up. And that looks like so. So with the wide being out here and the standard being here, diamond is hands in the middle, like so, forming a diamond between your fingers. This, and assuming the push-up position, here we go. These push-up variations are a little bit more difficult, but they target more specific areas of the body, and they're really good for just adding some variation to your workout. It's a bit windy today, guys, sorry about that. The next variation is a variation on the standard push-up. This adds a bit more resistance to the push-up, helps to build up your strength. So if you can't do the wider ones or the diamond ones, perhaps getting yourself a resistance band and doing the standard ones will help with this. So what you're going to do is grab your light resistance band like so, put it behind your back so you can do a push-up, and then from the back your resistance band should look like this, just behind your upper back, and then from here put your hands on the ground in the standard push-up position, bring your feet back like so, and then begin your push-up. With this version, you'll notice that it's easier to go down because the resistance band will pull you down, but it's much more difficult to come up. Whew. And it is a little bit tiring, guys. Don't let my calm, suave demeanor dissuade you from how tiring it is, because it is very tiring. Whew. And that's it, guys. That is the push-up progression from not knowing how to do a push-up to the beginning stages of push-ups, and then some more intermediate to advanced levels of doing the push-up afterwards. Thank you guys for tuning in today on our episode of Strong Anywhere Fitness, and peace. Whew. Okay, bye.